During one of Trump's speeches in Iowa over the weekend, a voter confronts Trump about the vaccines, the very vaccines which Trump takes credit for and takes a pride in as one of his biggest accomplishments during the COVID pandemic. Those vaccines that his supporters mostly are against and won't receive. A voter says, we lost a lot of people because you supported the jab. And this gets super interesting. Take a look at this.
What do you do here? As RNC member, I travel the country. Yeah. And we have lost people because you supported the jab.
Yeah.
What do you think you would do here?
Yeah, well, everybody wanted a vaccine at that time. And I was able to do something that nobody else could have done, getting it done very, very rapidly. But I never was for mandates. I thought the mandates were terrible. And there's a big portion of the country that thinks that was a great thing. You understand that. Not a lot of the people in this room, but there is a big portion.
Some people think the vaccine was a good thing. I would have loved to have seen Trump say, when she says we've lost a lot of people because you supported the jab, Trump goes, yeah. I would have preferred Trump to say, what do you mean we've lost a lot of people because I supported the jab? What exactly are you talking about? Force the voter to say, well, hundreds of thousands, millions have died from the COVID vaccine. Now, I think it's important, given the opportunity, to remind everybody, there is still no credible evidence about COVID vaccine-related deaths. There was a misleading report put out by a group called the Institute for Pure and Applied Knowledge. They used completely bogus methods and assumptions to estimate probably 300,000 people died from the vaccine. They used an excess death sort of calculation. What's funny is they didn't even include the possibility that the excess deaths were from COVID, from the thing that was actually killing people. There was a false claim that Pfizer revealed data that death as a possible side effect was a common thing when people were in the test group, the trial group, or whatever. That's been completely debunked. What it relates to is that there are people who died in the few months following vaccination, which you would expect from groups of humans. Some people die for reasons that have nothing to do with the vaccine. So the Pfizer one was a big thing. Now, it is true that people occasionally die from common vaccines. They are insanely rare cases, and they usually involve a sort of known theoretical risk of death, and the real numbers are so small. A couple examples. Anaphylaxis, which is a really severe allergic reaction. After any vaccine, there can be anaphylaxis, usually happens within minutes of the vaccine, can be treated with epinephrine. The rate of anaphylaxis after vaccination is believed to be somewhere between 1 in 10 cases per million vaccines administered. And of course, the epinephrine shot will save most of those 1 to 10 per million. There is something called intussusception, which is a type of bowel obstruction. When you get the rotavirus vaccine, which is given to infants and young kids, really important to protect against severe diarrheal disease, there can be a risk of intussusception after the rotavirus vaccine, 1 to 5 cases per 100,000 doses administered. GBS, Guillain-Barré syndrome, very rare nerve damage disorder, can happen after the flu shot. The risk is about 1 to 2 cases per million doses. And then, you can look at the yellow fever vaccine. There's something called YELAVD. It's a severe reaction to the yellow fever vaccine. And that is important in some parts of the world. The risk of that is under 1 case per 100,000 doses administered. So can people die after a vaccine? Yes. Is it so rare? Absolutely. Is there any proof that people are dying from the COVID vaccine? There is not. But this is what we call, when a Trump voter confronts Trump about the vaccine he created and wants credit for, this is losing control of the monster you created. I've mentioned it before, and we'll have the clip of this interaction on our YouTube channel, on our TikTok, on our Instagram. If you or one of your parents is starting to lose your hearing, you're not alone. About 48 million Americans have hearing loss, and only 1 in 5 people who would benefit from using a hearing aid are actually using one. Our sponsors, MD Hearing, create FDA-registered, rechargeable hearing aids that cost a fraction of what you typically pay. For example, MD Hearing's new Neo model costs less than 10% of what those marked up hearing aids are being sold for at most hearing clinics. And the Neo is MD Hearing's smallest hearing aid ever. No one will even know that it's there. I have a close family friend who uses MD Hearing and loves it. She said it performs better than any hearing aid that she's used, and it's far less noticeable. MD Hearing even offers a 45-day risk-free trial with a 100% money-back guarantee. So you can buy with confidence, and they have a special deal for my audience. When you buy a pair of hearing aids, you'll get them for just $149.99 each, plus they'll include a free extra charging case. Go to mdhearing.com and use the code PACMAN. The link is down below.